Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Keith and you're watching Barbara's Auto Help. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace the PCV valve on an '07 Ford Edge equipped with a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated engine. And of course, this procedure will be very similar to the later model Edges equipped with the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter. However, it's not exactly the same, but you can glean a lot of information from this video that may help you. I'll make it short enough so it doesn't waste too much of your time. Now, before you get into this, it's never a bad idea to disconnect the negative battery clamp on the battery. Disconnect the clamp from the battery and isolate it from the battery. So let's start out with the location of the PCV valve. The PCV valve is on the rear valve cover towards the firewall, and the PCV valve is closest to the accessory drive. It's in between cylinder number 4 and number 5. Now, in order to get your hand back there to remove this PCV valve, you're going to have to get rid of some of this wiring or move it out of the way. Go ahead and disconnect your electrical connectors to the PCM, and then disconnect your evap vapor management valve, and then position the harness aside. Once the harness has been pushed aside, you can then get back to the PCV valve. Of course, the hose that you see right here is going to have to be removed. Twist the hose back and forth while pulling up, and that should get the hose right off. Now, for the remainder of this procedure, I'm going to have the intake manifold removed so that you can see this more clearly. You don't have to remove the upper portion of the intake manifold to do this job. I'm just doing this for clarity. Once you have the hose removed from the PCV valve, you can then disconnect it electrically. You have a little locking tank that you're going to have to push down on. Once it's pushed down, you can pull back on the connector and disconnect it from the valve. Now, the valve twists into the valve cover. You can remove it by twisting it counterclockwise. Now, I found that whenever it's almost to the point where you can pull it out, it kind of hits up against the connector on the ignition coil for the number 4 cylinder. So removing the bolt to that ignition coil, then wiggling that coil to the side just a little bit will help to give you a little bit more clearance to get that valve out. Once you twist it enough in the counterclockwise direction, you can then pull straight up on the valve and remove it. Now, when you get your new valve, you want to take and put a little bit of oil on the O-ring and just kind of smear it around it. And then the installation of the valve is basically reverse procedure. Place it into the valve cover and then twist clockwise. Reconnect it electrically until it clicks. Make sure you got it in there good. Go ahead and reconnect your hose. And then if you've taken the ignition coil loose, go ahead and install the bolt that holds the ignition coil down. Do not over tighten this bolt as it's a very small bolt and it can break off very easily. But do get it good and snug. I don't have the torque spec, I'm sorry. Of course, you'll need to reconnect all the electrical connectors going to the PCM, and then, of course, reconnect the vapor management valve. Reconnect your negative battery clamp, and you're done. Folks, thank you so much for watching this video. Please read the entire description down below this video before you attempt this or apply any of this knowledge. There may be things I need to clarify. That's where I do that. And please read the disclaimer at the very end of it. Thanks again. Please like and subscribe.